Hello everyone, welcome back to Kanka TV, the home of North Melbourne fans, and welcome to the final weeks of 2024. It is crazy to think this year is almost over. For our beloved North Melbourne down at Arden Street, the year is almost at a close as well. The boys will be finishing up training in Melbourne early next week before heading over to the Gold Coast for their pre-season camp. They do break up towards the end of December and won't be back until after Christmas and into the new year, into 2025. Everyone is back at Arden Street now. All of the main boys are back training. All of our new recruits that we picked up in the draft and the trade, they're all there. Everyone's down at North Melbourne, and there is one player in particular that has got everybody talking. Let's have a chat about Riley Hardeman. Riley Hardeman joined North Melbourne in the 2023 AFL draft. We took him with pick 23 from WA. He is a medium defender. He's got speed. He can run. He's pretty hard at the ball. And I do think that most North fans were really impressed with the little sample size that we got to see from him in the 2024 season. He made his debut against Adelaide in round 7 and played 3 consecutive games. He played round 7 against Adelaide and then against St Kilda in round 8, and then the Gold Coast Suns in Darwin in round 9. He was one of 6 Roos who were omitted ahead of the round 10 clash against Essendon. It was a really, really tricky time for any player really to make their mark in that side. If you go back to earlier this season, we obviously lost every single game before the bye, and it was probably a pretty tough test for a newcomer. But I think for what we did see, he did show some great signs, and I think it was enough to give North fans a taste of what's to come. And there's no real surprise that he is the excitement machine and someone that we are really, really looking forward to seeing break into the side in 2025. In the 3 games he did play for North this season, his numbers were probably modest. We're looking at an average of about 10 touches, a couple of tackles, and a few marks per game. And given that he is a defender, it's got to be more than just what's on paper. Obviously, North's defense was under siege for most of the year in many of those games, particularly in the first half of the season when we weren't winning games. Not only were we not winning games, we weren't really getting too close to many teams either. But the upside of Riley Hardeman is far beyond what he's going to offer on paper. It's the first, second, and third attempts. It's the speed. It's his pace. It's his ability to push further up the ground and have an impact. I think that his upside is something that we can really, really hone in on. And if we can get the best out of him, then he can be an incredible asset for us moving forward. Now, how he breaks into the side is another question. We've obviously got Zach Fisher, was in and out of the side this season with injury. Colby McKercher did start in defence this season. Will he do a Harry Sheasel and move into the midfield, or will he stay in the back line for another season? We've obviously got Jackson Archer. He's more of a lockdown defender, though. He's not exactly a rebounding defender the way the other guys are, so maybe that's a different conversation to have. But if Riley is able to break into the side the same way that we saw someone like Tom Powell break into the side earlier this season, obviously Tom Powell prior to 2024 had been in and out of the sides, but in the off-season in 2024, added on some size, and he kind of became a real force for us, a contested base in the middle of the ground, winning heaps of contested possession, winning heaps of clearances, and then adding that clean ball use on top of it. It was undeniable. You couldn't leave him out of the side. He became such an integral part of that midfield build-up in 2024. So is Riley Hardeman able to do that for himself in 2025? Is he going to be able to add the difference, add a different element to our backline next season? Well, time will obviously tell. And if the way he's returned to pre-season training is anything to go by, then he too thinks he's in for a big season. He has come back looking completely different to the kid that walked through the door at Arden Street for the first time 12 months ago. He's clearly hit the gym. He's clearly put on size. He's really, really ready to make an impact. I spoke about Will Phillips being in the shape of his life a few weeks ago when he first came back from the off-season break. Well, Riley Hardeman looks to have followed in his footsteps, and there seems to be a heap of guys putting in the work at North Melbourne. It is such an exciting time. It feels like for the first time in a very long time, there's genuine competition for spots. It feels like there's so much talent oozing out of the place, and we are going to be spoilt for choice. But Let's see how all of this promise translates when we get to the big time next season. What are you thinking of Riley Hardeman? Are you bullish on what he can do in 2025? I know I am. For me, he's definitely one of the players to watch. I'm so excited to see what he can do in 2025. With a little bit more consistency, a little bit more continuity, a little bit more confidence in himself, and clearly having the physique now to match it with the best at AFL level. I think he could be a massive, massive, massive game changer for us in 2025. Leave all of your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and keep your footy fix going throughout the off season. There's so much content still coming for Kanga TV, I promise. I hope you're enjoying everything that's coming through so far. Let's continue the conversation over on social media, Kanga TV Show on Instagram and X. I will see you guys very, very soon.